This is Strictly Business, presented by the Greater Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce. Sponsored in part by the law offices of Young Wooldridge, San Joaquin Community Hospital.
Good morning and welcome to Strictly Business for Monday, March the 16th, 2015. I'm Nathan Ollie, Manager of Government Affairs for the Greater Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce. On today's show, we'll have Steve Daniels, Professor of Public Policy and Administration at CSUB, and he'll discuss how the university can help local businesses give students hands-on experience in the classroom. Then David Lyman, manager of the Bakersfield Convention and Visitors Bureau, will explain what it takes to attract large-scale conventions and sporting events to Bakersfield and the gains it has for local business. Katie Allen with PG&E and Renee Stansel, project manager for the Boys and Girls Club of Kern County, will explain how a summer employment program is helping teens learn what it takes to be a successful employee and how local businesses can get involved. And finally, Hillary Haynes, project manager for the Chamber, and Jack Brigham, a recipient of last year's Beautiful Bakersfield Award, will explain the 2015 Beautiful Bakersfield Awards and how you can nominate a deserving individual, business, or organization. But first, let's take a look at some business news that you can use. The Kern jobless rate climbed again in January. The Californian reported that Kern County's unemployment rate ticked up in January to 11.1%. The state's Employment Development Department reported sizable losses in the county's farming, retail trade, government, professional and business services, and construction sectors. The state's unemployment rate also rose slightly in January to 7.3%. In more positive news, Bakersfield is enjoying a hotel boom. The Californian also reported that the city will be home to several more hotels. A 95-room Marriott Town Place Suites will open in June off Coffee Road and Rosedale Highway. And 2 other hotel projects are in the works as well, with another Marriott slated to begin construction later this year by Meadows Field. Taking a look at the housing market, prices have climbed 10% in February as the local market gains steam. That according to a new report from appraiser Gary Crabtree. The report says Bakersfield's median home sales price jumped 10% in February, bringing the median price to $215,000. Prices per square foot were also up 3% from last year. Crabtree says the median sales price of existing single-family homes will continue to increase, up either 6 to 7%. Looking at state news, California's tax revenue beats its estimate by $1 billion in February. The budget outlook continues to improve as the tax revenue for February has exceeded estimates by $1 billion. The state controller's office reported that personal income tax revenue came in at $2.6 billion, or 26% higher than projected. Retail sales and use taxes were also up nearly 16%. The general fund revenue is now 1.4% higher than Governor Brown predicted in January. In other state news, new red light cameras would be banned under a bill. The LA Times is reporting that a state lawmaker has proposed a bill that would ban cities from adding red light cameras to intersections. The bill would prevent metropolitan areas from adding traffic cameras at crossing points and would require safety studies for cities that currently have the cameras in place. Proponents of the bill say the cameras have become more of a nuisance, increasing the number of rear-end accidents as drivers make sudden stops to avoid a possible citation. In education news, Cal State is tightening its admissions criteria to control demand. More California state university schools are limiting enrollment to help control unprecedented demand, reported in the LA Times. 18 of the system's 23 schools now restrict applicants. The CSU system received more than 790,000 applications for fall 2015. CSU officials say part of the problem stems from lack of funding to hire enough full-time faculty to meet student demands. In other educational news, President Obama plans to make it easier to pay off those student loans. The president signed a memo last week to change how student loans are repaid. The Student Aid Bill of Rights would require the Education Department to create a website that would simplify the way Americans file complaints and feedback about federal student lenders, services, and collection agencies, and would allow those agencies to respond more quickly. The new website is expected to be completed in July 2016. Also sticking with college, the governor offers a $50 million carrot for college innovation. The incentive from the governor has 52 schools across the state looking at ways to boost graduation rates. Governor Brown pledged the incentive to reward campuses create creative and cost-effective approaches to getting more students to earn their degree in less time. The winners of the California Awards for Innovation in Higher Education will be awarded later this month. Is your company undertaking a large project? Cal State Bakersfield's Department of Public Policy and Administration may be able to help. The department is currently looking for projects that will give students hands-on experience in evaluating programs. Steve Daniels, Professor of Public Policy and Administration at CSUB, joins us now with how your business can help. Thanks for joining us, Professor.
I'm glad to be here.
Great. Good to have you. So first, talk a little bit about, if you would, the evaluation course that students will be participating in.
Well, probably for about the last 10 or 15 years, it's one of our core courses particularly in our Master of Public Administration and our Master of Science and Administration Healthcare Management course has been program evaluation. In that course, we teach students the techniques of program evaluation and the processes and the procedures, but the most important component of the course is that the students engage in real community-based program evaluation courses. So that, in fact, while they're learning how to do program evaluation, they're also actually doing program evaluation. So the course is designated as a service learning course in CSUB.
Great. So what kind of projects are needed, and what kind of business should submit some projects that they're working on?
Generally speaking, what we're looking at is projects from nonprofit organizations, but even from private businesses that have foundations and so on, because most nonprofits, most foundations have programs that, where they say, I'm going to, we're going to put money out in the community to accomplish these goals, these sorts of things. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to help them discover whether or not what they're doing actually has an impact on the community.
Okay.
And so we're looking at things like needs assessments. We're looking at surveys. We're looking at impact assessments, what kind of impact the program has had, and it's also process evaluations. So, for example, if you say that this particular program is supposed to reach this particular target population, it's kind of nice to know if, in fact, it's actually reaching the target population it's supposed to reach.
Okay.
So these are the kinds of projects that we're looking for.
Okay. And what, when you participate in these evaluations, how does this help the student? What's the benefit to their career goals?
It gets them direct experience in negotiation, because they have to sit down with the sponsor and negotiate in terms of, okay, what exactly are the goals of the project? Do we agree that this is what's going to be the outcome? Is this the work product that we're going to get from the program? Is this, and so they have to be able to, to work with stakeholders in the community and figure out exactly, okay, this is what we're going to do. Then they also have to work together in teams of 4 or 5. These are not individual projects, so they have to learn how to coordinate their own activities in order to accomplish the goals.
So less of a classroom theoretical type setting and more of a real world.
Yeah, it is a real world practical situation. That's exactly what it's designed to be.
Okay. And we talked a little bit about the benefit to the companies, the nonprofits or other organizations that are participating. But what other benefits does a company receive out of this?
One of the things they receive is that they certainly will get not only the immediate feedback on whether or not their programs are working, but they also interact with students. And I know of a number of situations where the students have ended up gaining access or getting jobs or whatnot, working with the organization.
Getting their foot in the door.
The door. But from the company's perspective, it allows them to see, to work with and to see particular students while they're still getting their education.
Okay. And is there there's no cost to the business to participate?
No, there's not. This is one of those things where the cost is all borne by the department and the university in terms of, so it doesn't cost them anything. Now, admittedly, if there is a project that does require extended work, we also have the Public Service Institute, but that works with that would be fee or contract based. So.
Okay. And who should a company contact if they're interested in submitting a project?
They can contact me at 661-654-2318. That's my office number at the school. They can also reach me on my email at rdaniels, D-A-N-I-E-L-S, at csub.edu.
Okay, sounds great. Professor Steve Daniels, thanks very much for joining us and taking the time this morning.
I'm glad to be here.
All right. We'll be right back after this with more Strictly Business, so stay